So this was the 15 marker, and it's asked you to investigate dreaming using a self-report. And it asks you to refer to the sample and sampling technique. So that's quite mean because you've got to talk about the sample and the sampling technique. You've got to use a questionnaire. You've got to use open and closed questions, and you've got to use a Likert scale question. Oh, it says questions actually. You should use your own experience of carrying out a self-report to inform your response. So first things first, it's probably easier to talk about your sample and sampling technique. So you kind of need to say, for this investigation, I would use, let's do opportunity sampling in I'm like so dreaming. Opportunity sampling in a local supermarket. Let's do shopping centre because there'll be lots of people in a shopping centre. So for this investigation, I would use opportunity sampling in a local shopping centre on weekdays between 9 and 5. So on weekdays between 9 and 5. By approaching people and asking them if they would like to answer questions about dreaming. Right? So I basically, how many people should I have? Because I've got to talk about the sample. So weekdays between, by approaching, so say 50 people of various ages and ethnicities, and asking them if they would like to answer questions about dreaming. So I basically addressed the comments. I've got my A because I've talked about opportunity sampling. I've mentioned who my sample are. I've got 50 people, various ages and ethnicities. Maybe put here in the northwest. So we've got a location of England. I can spell of England on weekdays, right? So I've addressed it and I've put it in context because I've mentioned dreaming right there, so that's in context. Now you've got to link to your own research and you've got to justify it. So you might put a strength of using opportunity sampling is that it is quick and convenient. That's more convenient. Quick and convenient to collect a sample, as the researcher only has to approach people who are already there and available at the time to complete the questionnaire on dreaming. So it's in context. In my own research, I used a self-selected sampling technique and found that there was a low response rate. Let's change that into context. So in my own research, investigating stress levels of students, I used a self-selected sampling technique and found there was a low response rate to the poster displayed in the library, and so I had a small and unrepresentative sample that meant my findings lacked population validity. So I'm getting in lots of terminology there. Therefore, by using opportunity sampling to investigate dreaming, I hope to get a more representative sample so that I can generalise the results about dreaming to a wider population. Now, can you see there that we've got, for this investigation I would use opportunity sampling. So this is the address in the point. In a local shopping centre in the north west of England on weekdays, by approaching 50 people of various ages and ethnicities and asking them questions about dreaming. So that there is my context. This is how exactly I'm going to do it. And I've mentioned my sample as well, so I've said 50 people, so that's probably addressing the point as well. Now, a strength of using opportunity sampling is quick and convenient, as the researcher has to approach people who are already there available at the time to complete the questionnaire on dreaming. Again, I've got some context in there, but I've also got a justification, so I'm going to put that as context there. I've got a justification. Now, this justification is a definition from the research method, so if you can't remember your research method, you're going to find it really difficult to justify your choices. Now, it linked to your own research, so we've got stress levels of students, so there's some context there of my own research. I use a self-selected sampling technique, so something different to what I've actually suggested, and found that there was a low response rate. So again, that's explanation there. I've mentioned a poster in a library, some context there, but also how you actually get a volunteer sample. And then the problem with it, I had a small and representative sample that meant my findings lacked population validity. So there's a clear link to own research there. Therefore, by using opportunity sampling to investigate dreaming, so this is another justification. So your justification sandwiches your link to one research. I hope to get a more representative sample so that I can generalise the results about dreaming to a wider population. So you need to do it in that much detail for each of these bullet points. Now I'm going to do a separate video for the other bullet points because otherwise you'll be watching this forever. But that's an example of how you do it for that bullet point of sampling technique. It has to be in that much detail. It has to include why you are suggesting it. A lot of people were doing kind of weaknesses. If it's a weakness, you would not suggest it, so you shouldn't be mentioning any weaknesses at all. It's not asking you to do that. If it wants you to evaluate it, it will ask that as a follow-up question after you've done this one, so you do not need to mention weaknesses for it.